Hello and welcome to Homeroom. I'm Nancy Pierce, Communications Supervisor with the Mobile County Public School System. We have quite a partnership with many organizations, and one that we really work hard with, and they are wonderful partners with us, is the Child Advocacy Center. And joining me today is Paula Loper. She is the Educational Programs Coordinator and former principal with the Mobile County Public School System. It is so good to see you again.
It's great to see you, Nancy. It's good to be here.
It's been 5 years, and I thought it was 2.
It seems like longer than that in a way, but I enjoyed this job, but I thoroughly enjoyed my time with the school system.
And you were at Dauphin Island. Your last school was principal at Dauphin Island, and as we call it, the Little Red Schoolhouse, which is wonderful.
Dear to my heart, still very dear.
I'm sure. But now you're involved with the Child Advocacy Center.
I am.
Very important group. Before we go into anything else, what is their main purpose, the Child Advocacy Center?
The main purpose, of course, is to protect children.
Okay.
It's our goal to prevent child abuse on children. Our goal is to educate the public, the community, parents, but most importantly, we want to give children the skills to work with on staying safe. Personally, you know, just take care of themselves.
Sure. Well, it's unfortunately, it's a needed service. I wish it weren't. I wish we could get rid of your job and everybody else at the Advocacy Center, but that's not going to happen.
That would be a real goal.
But what you can do is make things better and make things easier for kids.
I really want to praise the people who work there, Nancy. Their heart is really in their job. It's so evident. Pat Guyton is the director of the Child Advocacy Center, and he has an outstanding staff.
Well, it must be a difficult job, but very rewarding job, too.
Absolutely. It is difficult to see the children who come in. You think sometimes you'll never see one that you know, but, you know, child abuse happens across the board.
Sure.
It doesn't matter how big the house they live in, how small, what color, how much mama, daddy makes. It happens to any child.
Sure, it can. It certainly can. Well, let's talk about the partnership that you have, the Child Advocacy Center has with the Mobile County Public School System.
You know, this is a long partnership and one that sometimes people don't realize is there. The Child Advocacy Center has worked cooperatively with the school system now for about 30 years.
Wow.
Back when I was a school counselor, the personal safety curriculum came into place. Pat Guyton was instrumental in getting a group of educators with him, and he had a group of teachers and other school personnel to work with him as they developed the personal safety curriculum that is in the school system. Still to this day, the Child Advocacy Center provides materials to teachers. We give training for those who teach the curriculum. That's one of my areas. To still stay connected with the school system and to teach those who, like I said, do work with children. It's a close relationship and one that, like you say, I wish there wasn't a need, but I think we will continue for many years to come.
Well, someday in a perfect world.
Absolutely. That would be a dream.
You know, one thing I know about Child Advocacy Center is you have some great fundraisers. So, I mean, they're really fun, and they get people together from all different walks of life, and just for a good time. And it's very important as far as fundraising. Do you also get money from the state? How are you supported?
We're a nonprofit organization. No, very little money comes from the state.
Wow, that can make it tough.
We are so fortunate to have the good supporters we do. Of course, now in the time of the economy that we've got now, we see a crunch as well as the school system and many other organizations. But truly, we depend on the good people who will contribute to the child advocacy. And we're very fortunate in that. We just want to keep it up and you know, bring more awareness to the people. And I think as that awareness grows, too, we'll see more contributions come in because people are touched when they hear the stories that are out there.
How do children get referred to you?
There's a state statute that's been in place since 1975. Before that time, there were no laws mandating anything about reporting child abuse. Not even doctors had the opportunity to report. But once the statute came into place, state law mandates that law enforcement, when they get a referral from a parent or a neighbor, someone out in the community, they are to turn it in to DHR. And so important for us to remember here in the school system is that teachers and school personnel are mandated reporters. They are supposed to report child abuse and neglect when it comes to their attention. It's not up to them to investigate, to make sure that it did happen indeed. But if they have suspicion or a child should disclose, it's not up to the school personnel to question and probe, but to report it. The procedure here in our school system has been that once a teacher finds out, or some school personnel, they usually report it to the school counselor, who will bring it to the attention of the principal of the local school. In turn, they will call it into DHR,
which is the Department of
Human Resources. And then, as a follow-up, they should send a written report into the health department here at this local school, at the central office.
And then they get in touch with
DHR.
Child Advocacy Center. Once all this happens, how does it make its way to you?
Okay, once DHR becomes involved, we have social workers in our office, housed in the office there, and the social worker and personnel, law enforcement personnel, who are also housed at our office, will go out to investigate the case. Let me back up for a second. At the Child Advocacy Center, it's just a wonderful group working together. We have DHR social workers, we have law enforcement, Mobile City, Mobile County, and we also follow up with a therapist there who work with children who have been abused, and they will stay with this child throughout the court proceedings and as long as the child is in need of their services. So it's truly, Nancy, a team
It sounds like it, definitely.
It is. I'm so impressed with the ones who work down there.
Well, it has to be also very difficult if a child has been abused to have to deal with court proceedings and things like that. So to have someone and have a great team on your side to get you through that situation.
Absolutely.
It's important.
The building that we're housed in has rooms set up to help the child feel comfortable, and that's where the procedure takes place for the investigation. So the child feels at ease and feels like, you know, it's a homey situation.
It definitely is. You walk in, and I remember, because I've been there several times, you see stuffed animals all over in the lobby.
Very
and that
warm.
Immediately makes you feel good.
It does.
Because we all love, well, at least I do love my stuffed animals, but it does make you feel comfortable and a little less, you know, especially if a child has never been in there. You know, there's a lot of apprehension, and especially if he or she has been through, you know, been abused. You got a lot going on in your mind, and then, but to walk in and you feel so comfortable, you really do.
You know, most of all, I want to say is the caring attitude, the sincere caring of the personnel there. I think that just comes through, too.
Well, that's important, as kids are not going to talk if they don't feel comfortable. How many, I almost hate to ask this, but how many children do you think you see in a day?
Well, I can't tell you in a day, really, but I know that last year there were about 3,000 children who came through. If we look at statistics, 1 out of every 4 girls will be sexually abused before the age of 18.
Wow.
And we tend to neglect the boys sometimes, but 1 in 5 to 6 boys will be sexually abused. Now let me say this, when you talk to an adult who has been sexually abused, most of them will say, I had a kind, caring teacher who listened to me, who cared about me, and who believed in me.
Boy, that's really important. Well, I know there's a curriculum that can be included with our school system, and What do teachers do if they're interested, or do you contact them? What's the procedure?
Well, the school board mandated that this curriculum be in place, and for teachers, they can go to the school website here at Central Office to look it up because it is online. But the school board mandated that kindergarten, 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 10th graders be taught the personal safety curriculum.
So that's what it is. It is a personal safety curriculum.
It's a sexual abuse preventive program. In the elementary setting, the school counselor teaches it. In the middle school, the PE teaches it, and with their health section. Then in high school, and it's so important that we not leave out the high school student, because they still need to be involved in this program. The 10th grade health teacher, or if the student is involved in ROTC, the ROTC personnel teach it. Can I tell you just a little bit about the curriculum?
Please.
Okay. The concepts are really the same. The objectives are the same for each grade level. However, it is grade level appropriate.
Right.
The unit is divided into 4 components. The first component just has to do with personal safety, helping a child distinguish between right and wrong, using skills to make wise decisions. The second part of the curriculum is good touch, bad touch. The third part is assertiveness. So many of us tell our children, you do whatever that adult tells you to do, whether it's a teacher, preacher, babysitter, or who. We need to teach our children, you have the ability and the right to say no if you feel uncomfortable with the situation. And the fourth part, every child needs to know there's support out there.
Right.
Someone to help them.
Everybody has to know that there's somebody out there that will care.
You are absolutely right. That's what a child is crying out for. And most of the time, it's the teacher maybe who will bring it to the attention of the school counselor. The counselor has opened the door. The teacher follows up in the classroom. And the child feels at ease and knows that the teacher's going to believe them.
And keep it confidential.
Absolutely. I would like to encourage all principals to call for an in-service. I do teacher in-services. I will go out and work personally with a school counselor or the teacher of the curriculum. Also, I want to encourage all principals to encourage their PTA or PTO to have a presentation, what every parent needs to know about child abuse. So the door is open, and they can contact me by calling 973-1612, and I will be so happy to accommodate their needs.
Oh, good, good. That's really good. And a lot of times people like to bury their head in the sand and pretend it's not going on.
You're right.
Whether it's a parent or a teacher or
Absolutely.
Whatever. And you just can't believe that this really could be going on, and so
it does, and there's no principal, no teacher who should ever forget that it is mandated that they report it. And I think it speaks volumes for school when they report it. It says, I care, I'm an advocate for the child.
And that's what we're here for. That's why we're in education. It's all for the kids.
You're right. I often miss being in the classroom.
I'm sure you do.
And even sitting in the principal's office. But this job is so meaningful. And if I can just, again, help one child.
That's perfect.
Means
That's
so
wonderful. It was so good to have you back.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
What a great job you're doing. So it's really good. So thank you, and
Nancy.
Good luck with the principals. I know they'll be very open to you.
I hope so. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for watching and for listening.